Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and we're back out here in my hot garage in North Texas in the middle of the summer to answer another viewer question. I've actually been enjoying making these videos because it's a little bit of a deviation from the normal stuff I make. And don't get me wrong, I love the first impressions videos, the upcoming projects videos, the commentary videos on everything from the SIG P320 to Matt Hoover or anything else that's going on in the world. But sometimes it's nice to make a video where I answer a question that I think other people besides the person that asked the question would be interested in knowing. And tonight's question comes from a video on my main channel where I show off one of my clone rifle builds. You guys probably know I'm a big fan of building clone rifles, although I don't highlight them as much right now on the channel because I'm reviewing so many amazing guns. I kind of want to do more with them and do more from the vault videos, but I love to build ARs, and not just, clone rifles where I track down specific parts, but I've always enjoyed coming up with an idea in my mind, a gun that has a certain philosophy of use or a certain color scheme or a certain pattern that I just kind of want to build into something. And not every gun that I have ever built or every AR that I've ever built has, a lot of collectability to it. But the question was asked, what is the coolest rifle I've ever built? Now, I know a lot of people are going to say it's either my Mark 12s. I have a, Mod 0, Mod 1. I also have Mark 18s, Mod 0 and Mod 1. Everyone loves that Mark 18, and I probably have dumped more money into that than any other firearm in my collection. But I also have a bunch of other ARs that I've built, some for home defense, some are, as I say, clone rifles and so forth. But I have an opportunity to bring out what I think is the coolest rifle I've ever built. And it's because in the near future, my family and I are going on a little road trip. We're staying here in Texas. We're not really going all that far. But anytime I go on a road trip, I always bring out my, I guess we'll call it the bug out bag. I always got this thing ready to go. And inside of this, I have flashlights, I have a Glock entrenching tool, I have knives, I have a first aid kit right here. I got a seatbelt cutter. Normally I have my radios in it. Right now those are charging over here on the workbench. I got my flashlights charging. But obviously you need firearms, right? And in this bug out bag, which isn't even all that full, you can see I have, look at that. It's not even full. I can fold it and all that kind of stuff. Would you believe me if I told you that inside this bag, I have 3 guns? Now, no, they're not all pistols. I do have a pistol in here, but I have 1 pistol and 2 rifles. And 1 rifle has a 16-inch barrel. The other one is a registered SBR AR-15 that I built. And I always have all these guns in this bug out bag ready to go. In fact, I built this AR for this application, and I think it turned out way better than I could have ever hoped. And it's a lot of fun to shoot. And every time I pull it out of the bag, people are always amazed. They're like, how in the world did you get an AR-15 in that small of a space? Well, I'm here to show you that today. But just to show you here in my bug out bag, let's get of course we got to get the Glock 19 out. I got a Surefire on that thing. Got some magazines, but that's in a holster there. So let me go to the main pouch. Now, the first rifle you're going to see, and I actually have these kind of in gun socks to protect them because I don't want them to be all, rubbing up against each other. The first one you could probably guess, okay? So this one is pretty standard. If you're in the survival world, you got to have one of these, and these are just awesome guns. I have a Henry survival rifle, otherwise known as the AR-7. So this was designed by Eugene Stoner. It was featured in a James Bond movie, but the entire gun fits in this little stock, if you're unfamiliar with it. It is a 22 long rifle caliber weapon. Henry probably makes the best version of it with the best materials. The ones that are super collectible were made by Armalite, the originals. I believe that Charter Arms for a while owned the right to make them. They made them, and I think somebody else made them as well. So it's Armalite, Charter Arms, Henry, maybe somebody else. But Henry makes the best. They actually changed the design a little bit. You can put an extra magazine in here, and I want to say they changed something for the reliability. But anyway, it's pretty close to the original AR-7. So you take off the back cap here. It's orange for, I guess, survival, so you can be seen. You have your receiver, you have magazines, and you have the barrel. So to put this together, if you're unfamiliar with this, I know a lot of you guys know this, but maybe some of you don't. Actually, I should probably put the receiver into the stock first. I think that's the real order. So it goes here into the stock, and you tighten it down here in the bottom. And there's a little screw that goes through it, and it holds the receiver down. And then you take your barrel, you put it onto that. You simply have to just lock it down, rotate it on, and then you pull out the charging handle, and now you can put the magazine in, and you're ready to go. So here it is, a Henry survival rifle, otherwise known as the AR-7. It's pretty cool. Is it the world's greatest self-defense round? No, but it does what it's supposed to do. These things work. They're a lot of fun. They're just pretty awesome. And if you really need one for, the wilderness, it's really awesome to have. So I have this in this bag, and obviously it folds up pretty small. But I know that's not the coolest rifle in here. As I said, I still got an AR-15 in this bag. So let's take a look at that. Well, first off, I do got the mags. Then I got these two things. So let's go ahead and take these out first. So here is the barrel assembly. And the receiver is in this little thing right here. Look how small this is. That's it. And you're still probably wondering, that there is no way that is an AR-15. Yes, it is. So I have the Fab Defense folding stock. Oh, sorry, not folding stock, folding grip. I have the Law Tactical folding stock. There's the receiver and the upper receiver. And here I have the Cry Havoc quick detach barrel system. So if I want to put this on, and by the way, this is a registered SBR that I actually used as a test bed rifle back when the ATF had their amnesty for the pistol braces, because originally this thing had a pistol brace on it. So I tried it out and I said, hey, but here I am 4 or 5 years later, and they never came and arrested me. They never came and killed my dog. They never said, you're a felon, you don't have a tax stamp. They actually did it, so anyway, so I can now put this onto this gun. Oh man, hold on. It's been a while since I've done this. I think I gotta lock the the barrel, the bolt open here. All right, here we go. And it goes right into that receiver. I gotta get that lever out of the way. There it goes. And then simply lock it down. And there you go. I got some Magpul flip up iron sights. And there you go. So I have I want to say this is a 12.5-inch barreled registered SBR AR-15 that fits in this backpack with the Henry survival rifle and my Glock 19. So if I just had this bag out and about, you would never know that there was an AR in it, and I definitely got some firepower. If, we're in a situation where, you got to get home, or you got to defend your life, or you're in a situation where, you need something like this. So while this is definitely not the most, I think, valuable rifle in my collection that I've ever built, I definitely think this is one of the coolest rifles. I know some people are going to ask, what's the handguard? This is a Midwest Industries handguard. The inspiration of this rifle actually came from one of my other clone rifles, where I cloned the new Air Force survival rifle, which I thought I could do a better job than Midwest Industries. And I think I did. I was able to get one of their handguards, And I used Colt receivers like the Air Force does, because for a while they made a small batch of those Air Force survival rifles. I think it was the GAU-5-A, I forgot the exact name. It was the Air Crew Survival Rifle. So it's designed to be folded up and go into the ejection seat. It has everything on this gun except for the Loft tactical folder. And I was like, well, that'd be cool to add that as well. And I've seen some other companies that have done both. So I had the Fab Defense folding stock, the Cry Havoc Defense quick detach barrel system, and this. And you can get this rifle in a very, very small package. So I took the inspiration from that and my other clone rifle build, and I built this. And yeah, it's just been fantastic. This lower receiver is just a mil-spec receiver from Rifle Gear, which is like a local big box store around here. And they have lowers. And I originally built this out as a pistol. And then when that amnesty registration thing came around, I was like, you know what? I'm going to find out for the gun community, because everyone's screaming bloody murder about this. And they're going to come kill your dog. You've committed a felony and all that kind of stuff. And I got the approval and threw the stock on it. So anyway, that's what this is. And I think it's hands down one of the coolest rifles in my collection. While I don't shoot it all that often, it is one that I can put literally into a shoebox or my backpack, and you would never know that I have. So I hope that answers the question of what I think might be the coolest rifle that I've ever built. While it might not be the most collectible or the most historical, it's definitely really cool. So there you go. And let me know if you have any other questions regarding anything. So I always like to talk about this stuff, and I think this was a fantastic, fantastic question. So then I'm just going to pull this apart. There's the barrel. Let me go ahead and close the bolt, fold the pistol grip, fold the stock, and there it is again. So I definitely think that's one of the coolest rifles I have, and it folds up into a package literally that big. So there you go. That's really all I got for you tonight. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions, anything else you want to know about the channel. Let's talk about it. So if you made it to the end of this video, the word of the day is folding. Folding or fold. Either word is fine, because this rifle folds up into a small package. So now let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for joining me here in the Hot Garage. And as always, thanks for watching.